Hi, I'm James Robinson, and today we're going to talk about comments that people have made on various videos and give you some of my responses to those comments. Before we go any further, if you want to keep up with stock picks that I'm making and or more importantly stocks that I'm selling, you can do that at my Twitter account, and that's at Robinson Stocks. So go there for instantaneous updates when I do things. I don't always have a time to make a video. Sometimes it takes a couple of days after I make a decision to buy or sell a stock to make a video about it, but I'll always tweet about it in real time. So I don't have a stock pick of the week this week, but we're going to focus on comments that I've gotten, questions that I've gotten from people over the last year. It occurs to me that I rarely read comments on any of the videos that I watch on YouTube, and I suspect most of you are the same way. I've gotten some comments that are interesting questions, and I thought that, and I tried to answer those comments when they were asked of me online. But it occurs to me most of you will have never read either the question or the comment, and so I'm doing a video now that'll address some of the more interesting questions over the last year. And I'll try and do that with regularity so that we can have, again, my goal here is to build a dialogue with people and conversation and start trading stock thoughts and advice with each other. Also, here you can see, first of all, thank everybody who responded to me, but here you can see a map of where my known subscribers are around the world. It's endlessly fascinating to me that people in Singapore and Rome and Abu Dhabi are following me. It's really cool. So please, if you are following me from wherever you are, whether it's, Omaha, Nebraska, where I'm sure Warren follows me every week, or whether it's, Timbuktu or anywhere in between, I'd love to hear from you, and just, leave me a brief comment that says, hey, I'm in Denver, Colorado, or I'm in, Zhangjiagang, China. So anyways, on to the questions. So, and again, please forgive me if I get these names wrong. I am doing my best. So Juha Kilakaski, I believe that's how you pronounce that name, wrote me about Medfast, symbol MED. He said, according to Yahoo Finance, 32% of Med's outstanding shares are short. What do you make of this? Based on your metrics, this company seems very interesting as a potential investment. Thanks for the great videos. So, look, there's a tremendous amount of information that's available. You can really spend hours and hours and months really investigating a company, and I think you sort of get paralysis by analysis if you do that. So I think you have to figure out what metrics matter to you. I don't care very much about short sellers. I've determined that, every time I buy a stock, I'm buying it from somebody who's convinced it's going to go down, and short sellers are just more convinced. But, by definition, I think short sellers are kind of stupid. And I'll tell you why. It's an asymmetrical bet. When you buy a stock, it can go to a billion, but it can only go to zero. So your downside is limited to your investment, and your upside is an unlimited number. Short sellers bet on exactly the opposite way. The most they can do is double their money if the stock goes to zero, and they can lose their entire net worth if the stock goes up infinitely. So if you really think about short selling, it's not a good vehicle for investing, in my opinion. I've been burned doing it. I won't do it ever again. And I almost think somebody who's shorting a stock hasn't really analyzed that component of their risk enough that it makes any sense. And so I sort of discount what they say just because I go, you guys just don't get it. And again, I've made that mistake. I've done short selling. So I don't look at the short sellers for three reasons. First of all, everybody I'm buying a stock from is effectively convinced it's going to go down. That's why there's a market. They may be right, they may be wrong. I just have confidence in my own opinion. Number two, I think that people who are short selling, especially significant amounts, probably don't understand investing or don't look at investing the way I do, and so I don't care about their metrics. And third, I tend to be buying companies that have done poorly recently, and that's why they're underpriced. I mean, I've got 170 companies that I'd love to buy, but there's companies' average PE is like 34. Because they're great companies that are doing great and everybody wants them. So I'm trying to find those underpriced companies. And by definition, when you find underpriced companies, you're going to find companies that maybe haven't performed as well recently as you would hope. And so I sort of would expect there to be a large short position. That doesn't mean the shorts are always wrong. I know I'm going to guess wrong some significant percentage of the time. Monash Prabrai says that if you can only lose money in a third of your stock picks, you're doing great. And I think he's probably right about that. So I know some of the times I'm going to guess wrong, but I've got to stick with what I think works. And so that's why I don't spend a lot of time focusing on short selling. I also don't look at what insiders are doing. I know that insiders buy, and I know insiders sell, and I know in theory the insiders should know more, but they're often selling or buying for reasons that are unknown to me and not related to the value of the company. There's a lot of guys who are insiders who are buying shares of Tesla, and I think Tesla is an absurdly stupid company to buy. So what are you going to do? So I hope you will forgive me if I get some of these names mispronounced them. I'll do my best. Alessandro Pedersoli wrote me and said, "Hi James, I preferred much more the previous format with all the analysis of the stocks in a single longer video. Would you consider go back to the previous format? Thanks a lot for your great work anyway." So Alessandro, I did respond to this in writing, but recognizing most people don't read the comments. The reason that I went to the shorter format is for two reasons. First of all, when I looked at my people who were watching my videos, it seemed that the average watch time was 5 minutes. So when I make a 20-minute video, that means 75% of the data is not being viewed by people. Second of all, once I realized that I'm producing 20 minutes worth of video and I'm only getting 5 minutes worth of viewing, I realized that if I did 4 videos, then if I could get the same amount of time, I'd create, for the same amount of work, more hits to my page, hopefully more likes to my page, and more total watching. And so for the same amount of work, I get hopefully more interest in my site, and that over time will create activity. In addition to that, I found that I enjoy doing the shorter bursts of video, that's 10 or 15 minutes or 5 or 10 minutes long versus a 20-minute long video. It's easier for me to produce them in a short period of time and get them posted, other than having to do the entire thing soup to nuts. So I think at this point I'm not going to go back to the single video format. But if you want, you can go back and just watch them all at once, one after the other, wait 4 or 5 days. I try and do them one a day. So if you do that, if you wait 4 or 5 days, you can see them all simultaneously. Thank you very much for the comment. Alessandro also wrote, talking about the stock Pets, which I suggested you should buy, that he bought the stock at $15.85, thanks to the recommendation, and now he's up more than 20% in about 3 months. Plus he's got a quarter's worth of dividends on the 20, and then on the 21st he said there would be the next earnings report, and did he think I should sell? He should sell now and take the profit, hold it for the long term, and keep collecting good dividends, or was there some other thing I think I should do? He said he likes the stock and the dividend, but he doesn't know what to expect from the next earnings release. Could you share with me your thoughts and your target price? Thanks. So there's several things to unpack there. First of all, I don't care within reason what the earning reports are going to be. At least I don't think I can predict them enough that I should be caring. I'm buying these companies because I think that they're very well run, and I think in the aggregate, in the long run, they're going to continue to do well. I don't know what's going to happen, and I wouldn't predict it. And even if I knew, I'm not sure I would care very much, because what happens with a company quarterly is not my focus. My focus is a good company that over the long term is really going to grow. And I try and buy those kinds of companies. I try and invest in those kinds of companies. That gives me a margin of safety. And if there is some bad quarter, some catastrophic quarter, and it's a short-term blip, then I just got to hold the stock for a little while for it to come back. The next component of that is, do I have a set sell price? I typically do have an idea in mind of where I would sell the price, sell the stock, but I don't think it's appropriate to share it in these videos. And the reason I say that is things can change. I might find another investment that I want more, and so I'll sell this to buy that, and I will do that independent of what's happening with an individual stock. Also, something might change. I might find something out about the company that I really like or dislike, and that would change my opinion of it. And if I give you guys a price at which I think you should sell, and then you miss the video where later I talk about why I've changed my mind, or I don't get around to making that video, I would feel like I let you down and betrayed you a little bit. And so my attitude is, I'm going to tell you that this is a good stock, and I'm going to tell you why I think it's a good stock, and I'm going to suggest that you might want to, keep it. If I do sell it, I will notify you when I do, or at least do my best to do that. But in the meantime, I'd sort of leave it to you to decide what makes sense for you in terms of when to sell it. So another comment asked, hi James, do you still show the weekly performance of your holdings? I think it was very interesting, the evolution of your portfolio and its performance over time, even in the short term. Thanks. Well, I appreciate that, and I do still show those. You'll find that it's the last couple slides in the wealth creation. So whenever I post information on a stock, I try and do the last slide, the last video on that stock as the last video is wealth creation on the company, and the last couple slides will be an update on what's happening with the portfolio. So you can look for it there if you want to find it. Thanks. Sol Kahila, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And Sol, I'm curious where you're from. I looked at your videos and it's writing that I don't recognize and an alphabet I don't recognize, so I'd love to know where you're from. Anyways, I really like your videos. Where do you find your charts? My charts are all custom made. I use a site called Guru Focus, which has 30-year stock histories with fantastic amounts of information. I take that information, I import it into my own spreadsheet. And I don't know how many cells my spreadsheet have. It might have 50,000 cells. It's it's kind of a labor of love. And not all those cells are relevant anymore. It's just stuff I used to look at and play with and things I'm experimenting with. But one of the things that it does is it populates those charts. And so all of the data there I get from Guru Focus, which is a fantastic site. You should consider it. It's gurufocus.com, I think. And then my charts are updated. My charts are created through my software. So Saul, I hope that answers your question.